Yo, I have a question for you. Who do you think deserves more the opportunity to face Deontay Wilder? Dominic Breazeale or Dillian Whyte? Like, who do you think has done more to deserve a shot against Deontay Wilder for his WBC belt? Do you think Dominic Breazeale beating Izu Agono and Dominic Breazeale beating Eric Molina is enough to provide him a title opportunity against Deontay Wilder? Or do you think Dillian Whyte fighting Lucas Brown, Robert Helenius, and who else has he fought in the past year? Oh, maybe you could say Dave Allen. So who do you think is more deserving? Me personally, I really don't count when Dominic Breazeale faced Eric Molina last year, because I knew that Dominic Breazeale was going to beat Eric Molina. Eric Molina, I don't rate Eric Molina. I just don't. I felt it was ridiculous that he got the opportunity to fight for a title eliminator against Dominic Breazeale, because he didn't deserve that. He didn't earn it, you know? I thought it was ridiculous that Anthony Joshua defended his IBF strap against him. I also thought it was ridiculous that Deontay Wilder defended his WBC belt against him. So I didn't count when Dominic Breazeale faced Eric Molina. I didn't count that fight. I was like, okay, it's just some, bum fight. Now, when Dominic Breazeale faced Izu Agono, I thought that was a good fight. Matter of fact, that was a really exciting fight. I saw that fight and I was very excited. And although Izu Agono lost that fight, I was actually impressed with him, because I thought he looked really good in there against Dominic Breazeale. He was throwing really good body shots. He looked really good in that fight. What ended up causing him that fight was he gassed out. If you remember, he gassed out. It's funny because, you would think that he would be in better shape than Dominic Breazeale, because if you look at them physically, Izu Agono's shredded, right? He's ripped to the bone, right? And you look at Dominic Breazeale and he's like this pudgy, chubby type of dude that got man tits, right? But funny enough, the dude who ended up gassing out in that fight was Izu Agono. He was just going, in the first couple of rounds, he was going all out, and he kind of gassed himself out. And he didn't take into account that Dominic Breazeale has a lot of heart, right? And he was able to sustain a lot of punishment, and that's why he gassed himself out. So I thought that was an exciting fight. I thought that was a good fight, Now, when it comes to Dillian Whyte, I made a video saying that this is easy money, Lucas Brown. I knew going into that fight that Dillian Whyte was going to win. I knew. And if you don't believe me, go look at the history of my channel. I made a video saying this is going to be an easy fight for Dillian Whyte. So when I saw Dillian Whyte go in there and, put on a boxing clinic and destroy basically Lucas Brown, I wasn't shocked by that. A lot of people were acting like, wow, did you see how flawless Dillian Whyte looked? Yes, he looked really good in that fight. Excuse me, don't get me wrong, he looked really good in that fight. But I knew that was going to happen, dude. I knew that Dillian Whyte was going to win easily, because, Lucas Brown, very inactive. He's not the best skill for skill, and he was past his prime. And look at how out of shape he was. I mean, the dude had a massive gut hanging from his, midsection. So I wasn't surprised. So I didn't really give Dillian Whyte that much credit when he beat Lucas Brown, because I knew that was going to happen. Now, for example, I actually gave Dillian Whyte, I feel Dillian Whyte beating Robert Helenius was a better fight for him, and I actually give him more credit for beating Robert Helenius than Lucas Brown, because A, Robert Helenius is younger than Lucas Brown, B, he's way more active than Lucas Brown, and he actually came to fight. Although he wasn't being offensive in that fight, he was giving Dillian Whyte issues with his angles. Lucas Brown just sat there like a punching bag and had no movement, nothing, and he made it an easy night's work for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte just popped off against him. But when it came to Robert Helenius, at least his movement, was giving this guy issues, Dillian Whyte. You know what I'm saying? Now when he fought Dave Allen. Now Dave Allen does beating Robert Helenius, give you a position to fight for Deontay Wilder's belt? Well, let's look at it this way. Eric Molina fought for Deontay Wilder's belt. Right? Eric Molina fought for Deontay Wilder's belt. What did he do to deserve that fight? Who did he fight? The only guy I could recall him facing before fighting Deontay Wilder was because I know after he lost to Deontay Wilder, he fought Thomas Adamick, and then he went on to get destroyed by other dudes, but by AJ and stuff. But before that, the only memory I have of Eric Molina was when he got destroyed in 30 seconds against Chris Arreola. People act like, oh, Eric Molina stunned Chris Arreola. Who gives a fuck? He got destroyed in 30 seconds by a washed-up Chris Arreola. Well, Eric Molina, Deontay Wilder defended his belt against Eric Molina, and Eric Molina didn't fight anyone. When Deontay Wilder defended his belt against Johan Duhaupas, who did Johan Duhaupas fight? He lost to Erkan Tepa, that overrated PD user. Who else? He beat Manuel Charr? Manuel Charr ain't shit. That's it. So if you look at it that way, it's like, okay, if Deontay Wilder could defend his belt against Eric Molina and Johan Duhaupas, guys that didn't deserve that, even Arthur Spilka, even though I thought Arthur Spilka looked really good in that fight against Wilder, who did he fight? He lost to Brian Jennings. Brian Jennings. How does that make you qualify you to face Deontay Wilder for his belt? It doesn't make sense. So if you look at it that way, does Dillian Whyte or Dominic Breazeale deserve a shot against Deontay Wilder? Yes, because if someone like Eric Molina and Johan Duhaupas, guys that fought nobodies, were able to earn a shot, then why shouldn't someone like Dillian Whyte or Dominic Breazeale? But that's not the question. The question is, who do you guys think deserve it more out of Dominic Breazeale or Dillian Whyte? I guess you could say Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte has been more active. That's one thing I'll tell you. Dominic Breazeale, he fought Eric Molina, which I thought was an easy fight for him. Before that, he hadn't fought in like 10 months. He was coming off a 10-month layoff, and he fought Izu Gono. Although that was a very exciting fight, like I said, I was impressed by Izu. Gono, he looked really good in there, but Izu Gono himself was fighting nothing but bums. Izu Gono, if you look at his resume, who had he fought? He was fighting nothing but bums. And then before that, he got the crap beat out of him, Dominic Breazeale, against Anthony Joshua. He didn't win. I didn't give him a single round against AJ. AJ easily beat him. Dude, he easily beat him. So, and let's compare that to Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, Lucas Brown, like I said, that was a foregone conclusion, and Lucas Brown really has never fought anyone. The best guy in his resume is, God, I always forget his name. You know who I'm talking about, the dude he won the title from. Come on, who was past his prime by the time he fought him. And then he fought Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius, at least Robert Helenius has fought guys like Derek Chisora. He did fight Johan Duhaupas. But Robert Helenius himself really doesn't have a stacked resume. He did fight AJ, and he did do a better job than Dominic Breazeale, because at least he was able to rock AJ. Although I thought he still easily lost to AJ. So, to make it short, I think Dillian Whyte deserves a shot more than Dominic Breazeale. But, for some reason, I feel like Deontay Wilder is not really too keen on facing Dillian Whyte. Just with all the evidence that I've been seeing lately. I have, like I've been telling you guys since last year, I have a big feeling he's going to fight Dominic Breazeale next. I mean, you got Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's a promoter. You got Eddie Hearn going around. Eddie Hearn is a promoter, and he has connections. Eddie Hearn has, for the past 3 weeks, has been going around saying that, Deontay Wilder has a signed contract to face Dominic Breazeale this June, July. Right, this June, July. This is what a promoter in Eddie Hearn is saying. Although I think promoters lie, and they do lie, trust me, we have to keep that in mind. He's a promoter. He has connections, okay? Connections, dude. I'm a dude who is just a hardcore boxing fan, and I've been telling you that they're going to fight since last year, okay? And now a promoter, a guy who has connections, is going around saying that he's going to fight Dominic Breazeale next. So if you're going to trust anyone, or anyone, you would probably rather trust some guy that, you know, like a promoter like Eddie Hearn, right? Rather than me, right? So, again, I always knew that Deontay Wilder was going to face Dominic Breazeale because when he, like I said, when he fought and beat Eric Molina, Drummer Boy, it was for a title eliminator. So I was like, okay, he's gonna be the next guy to face him. And again, he's an Al Heyman fighter, so it's easy, you know, it's easy for Wilder to face him. He's an Al Heyman fighter. He fights on PBC just like Wilder. They have this little beef. I personally don't think it's going to be competitive. You know, I think Deontay Wilder will easily beat him. That's just my personal opinion. You know, I get that Dominic Breazeale has a lot of heart. He does. You know, he showed it against Anthony Joshua. He showed it against Izzy Ugono. You know, he showed it against Amir Mansour. He's always showed that he's had a lot of heart. And I understand that, dude. I understand that he showed that he's had a lot of heart, but heart doesn't win fights. Skill and talent wins fights. You know, heart only wins fights if the guy you're fighting doesn't have the heart that you have. But if you're fighting a guy who has the heart and has the skill, trust me, dude, he's gonna win. You know, that's just facts, in my opinion. So yeah, I personally think Dillian Whyte deserves it more. And let me know who you guys think deserves some more. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And it's McGregor Mom, man. Bye.